targets. First of all, the growth forecast. He said the OBR had increased that to 1.4% for this year, 2.4% for next year, but for some reason dips to 2.2% in 2015, and then the outer years you can largely ignore because they don't really mean very much. It should be noted that the Bank of England thinks the economy will grow this year and next year more quickly than the OBR is currently saying. Because growth is now stronger, the Chancellor doesn't have to borrow so much, so he's reduced the borrowing forecast. This year he's taken about 9 billion off. It goes down to 111 billion. Then it falls to 96 billion in the next fiscal year, down to 79, down to 51. By 2017-18, it goes to 23. And after that, the Chancellor gave us the possibility that we might actually move into surplus. But these are the out years. They're always revised. I wouldn't put too much faith in them. And as I said, the OBR expects a small surplus by 2018-19. But debt continues to rise for the foreseeable future because we are still borrowing. National debt goes up to 80% of our national wealth by 2015-16. Unemployment, though, the OBR now saying will fall quite strongly, falling to 7% in 2015 and down to 5.6% by 2018. Again, it should be pointed out, independent forecasters believe unemployment will fall more quickly, which is significant not just for the unemployed, but it means that interest rates may then have to rise if the governor of the bank sticks to his forward guidance, 7% being a key figure for interest rates perhaps going up. It was confirmed that the Chancellor is scrapping the planned 2p fuel duty increase. That's going. And he also said that rail fares will rise only in line with inflation in January 2014. Clearly, cost of living, living standards issues ranking high with the government at the moment. It wasn't so long ago rail fares were set to double the rate of inflation. And again, something well trailed, a £50 average saving on energy dual fuel bills by changing the way green levies are levied. The Chancellor also announced that there was to be a rise in the state pension. It will go up in April by £2.95 a week. But the pension age will rise when you retire to 68 in the mid-2030s. He wouldn't give an exact date. And then 69 in the late 2040s. And then he announced that a welfare cap, a cap on the total amount of money spent on welfare, would be introduced next year. That is clearly, I suggest, designed to embarrass Labour, or at least to get a response from them. The Chancellor also said it would not include pensions. State pensions would not be in the welfare cap, neither would the job seekers allowance, because that goes up and down depending on the level of unemployment, the state of the economy. Another idea that was well trailed in advance is that for non-UK residents who buy homes in this country, when they come to sell, no doubt having made a substantial gain, if it's in central London, they will pay capital gains tax now, just as British citizens pay capital gains tax on their second homes. He also announced there will be £3 billion of additional departmental savings at central government level over the next 3 years. Not a huge amount, but maybe a bit painful on top of all the cuts that have fallen on departments so far. And the idea that was trailed at the Tory party conference had been in the Tory manifesto, the married couples tax allowance will be introduced in 2015, probably just in time for the election. On the business front, the Chancellor announced that business rate increases would be capped at 2% from next April, that there would be a £1,000 discount for small retail businesses for the next 2 years, an attempt to try and get some life back into the high street these days, and that employer national insurance contributions will be removed from under 21s, an attempt to get more of that million youth jobless back to work. On education, it was confirmed that there would be free school meals for the first 3 years at school of infants in England. They also announced there would be an extra 30,000 student places from next year at British universities, and that the cap on student numbers which currently exists would be abolished from 2015. It will then be up to the universities to determine how many students they're going to take. Infrastructure, widely announced yesterday, £1 billion in loans to unblock large housing developments. He wants to get more housing going. There's to be a new tax allowance for investment in shale gas, though many in the shale gas industry say it's the planning is the problem rather than the need for tax allowances. And he confirmed there would be a new nuclear power station planned for Anglesey, probably on broadly the same terms of guaranteed price and help with the borrowing to pay for it that EDF recently got for the new one planned in Hinckley.